like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast. For your voice in my headset, it's on friendship, and this one's going to be an exciting one. Except, I think I might just take a nap. I'm exhausted. I mean, I had all these amazing things that I was going to do today, and on this podcast, and then I just got the very life sucked right out of me. Nora, what you got?
Um, Not sure. I was hoping you had something.
So, for men, you guys want some tips about women? Okay, I hear your energy. You're like, yes, absolutely. So
Just so you
women,
know, your little granddaughter is listening, your youngest, and she's listening carefully.
hey,
So,
hey, sweetheart, how are you, honey? Yeah, Grandpa
yes,
loves.
Grandpa.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna hear some things today that are gonna be like, ooh, but you can't tell mom yet, honey. So,
Uh-huh. Great.
so, um,
Okay, well,
so men on. Here's a tip. Women love drama. So if you go ahead if you go ahead, it's crazy. It's crazy what women can turn into drama. Like it's like they're actually like little children. Like little children, like you can turn wrapping paper into and for a baby and it's a toy. Like anything. It doesn't matter, it's just a toy. Anything that goes in their mouth, just a toy. With women, the same thing with drama. It's like it's so intriguing for me. Well, before we go into mine, because once we go into this dark, dark world of women and their minds and their emotions and everything else, we may not come out alive. Um, Elaine, did you have anything?
Nothing specific, I don't think right now per se.
I'm sure you will. And Rosanna, anything you have before I go into the deep, dark mind and emotions of a woman?
interesting. I wonder if the deep, dark minds of the women come from the man's thinking processes,
No, these are observations. Concrete, concrete,
observations. Oh, they're not
concrete.
judgments.
It's concrete. It's not brain surgery. So, man, here's a
Oh,
tip.
so it's an
Women try to
observation.
distract you with all kinds of stuff because they don't want to get to the truth of things. It's just how a woman's brain is.
Okay, I do have
So,
one
Okay,
question
go
if
for
you don't mind.
no, please, absolutely, Nora.
Okay, so you know how like the Bible talks about like you have to be like the little children to get into heaven, right?
Right.
What? Okay, now hold on. Like, what is that? This could be a hot topic. Like, what? Like, what's your perspective of that, or like, what does that mean to you?
So this is not a distraction. It's not a distraction at all. It's just a good question. To me, it's humble. It's humble. It's the mind of a child. Okay. Nora was hoping it would be much more advanced than that, much more things. But she'll interrupt me again because she doesn't want me to reveal the secrets of women and expose women. And it's okay. I'm fine. I'll take the next question. She didn't have anything, but she will because I'm getting close to the core on this stuff. So years ago, um, you know, I, I think our youngest one was probably we were going to one of my cousins' kids. No, it was one of my cousin's wedding, my younger cousin's wedding. And our youngest one was in diapers. And I asked my uncle, like, I don't know, you guys probably don't do this or have not the women that are on, like, I am continually asking the women in my life, like, how can I improve? Do they ask me? Not so much because they're princesses. It's crazy. They're just wired to be. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just interesting. But they don't acknowledge it. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to acknowledge the truth. That makes them a liar, which is fascinating. No, well, I don't know. It might go this, never know where it's going to go. So, anyways, I was asking my uncle for advice, and he went ahead and um, he said, well, Mark, I noticed that your wife is doing a lot with the kids. And so, you know, um, so this was 25 years ago, probably. I don't know. Yeah, probably. And so maybe you could be more helpful. That's funny because I think most men, they get defensive. They're like women, bunch of dumb squirrels. It's just like, so he gives me a suggestion. Do I get defensive? Well, let me explain all the things I do. I work for, no, I just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill this right now. I've had two women tell me recently that I dismiss things. It's just, I'm like, you got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. I I don't think I've ever had anybody say that I dismiss them, but two women, and it's really cool. I'm really excited about it because I want to get to the truth of it. Do the women want to get to the truth? They probably don't. They probably don't. So they don't even remember things that they've said or done. That's dismissing. Well, it's not really dismissing, it's blacking it out from your brain. Anyways, so I dig in. I'm like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to go after this thing because I don't know. I don't talk wanting to be a better husband or a better father, grandfather. I just do it. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Just do it. So I jump in and I change one of the diapers of, one of the kids. And when Rosanna comes out, I, proudly go ahead and tell her, I'd probably tell her, hey, look at this. What am I thinking she's going to do?
That's really nice,
Be
sweetheart.
excited.
Right. There'd be some positive praise or something. What instead happened?
She
I
redid
fixed
it.
it.
He redid it. Wasn't done right. Now Nora's thinking, well, why didn't you do it right? Like, it's weird. Like you're supposed to, you're supposed to go ahead and get gas, I think all the time, and then help with meals some of the time, but you're not supposed to take all the time. You're not supposed to take all the laundry and all the stuff away from a woman. So what you got to do is you got to go ahead and somehow figure out, do you ask the woman how frequently do I make the meals and do the laundry? You don't want me to do it all. Do you ask them, Nora, or just are you supposed to know, or are all women the same?
I think it's a conversation that you have because each person's going to be different.
And it's going to change for a woman. So what she might go ahead and say, if you could help me with dinner, once a week. So the guy helps with dinner once a week. She's really happy for a week or two, like, oh my gracious. But then she becomes entitled and she just thinks, oh, he's going to do it all the time. If he stops doing it, she's no longer happy. Or she might switch it because she just likes drama and to get angry. She might switch it and say, why are you helping me? Like this and this and this and this. She just wants to be angry. I mean, I don't know.
Sometimes
Anyways,
it's nice if they just offer, and you don't necessarily have to take them up on the offer, but the offer is always nice.
right. And men love that because then you get the credit and you just, and there's some really amazing men out there that they've learned how to do the offer. That way they're really good. They feel good about themselves, but they messed it up last million times, so they didn't do it. So anyways, so 25 years ago, that was traumatic. Now, I didn't know that you could use trauma. I did not know you could use trauma as leverage and weapon. Anybody know why I didn't know you could use trauma as leverage and weapon? Because
You
I'm
weren't
not a
taught.
woman. Yeah, a woman, she is wired, DNA, she is wired to go ahead and know how to use tears and drama and trauma and everything else to get what she wants in life. And then she's not happy. It's fascinating as a man. You're just like, what? Nope, it's true. Okay. So, I was just starting to be healed from that. And then it happened again. This last week, Monday. What happened, Mark? See, women, they're not that interested. They want you to be interested in them. They want you to go ahead and be really like all this, but they're not interested because they can feel it coming and they don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to grow. They want to think they're growing, but they don't have to have any evidence of it. They just don't. I mean, and they want to be able to say things and they want to be able to ask questions. Now, if you ask questions of them, so it's super. As a man, it's one of the most frustrating things to see the hypocrisy of women, and they're clueless to it. They're just like, it's just like, holy cow. Anyways, so Nora challenged me about, filling doing gas. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to do gas. So I did gas and filled it up. Took me a little work, but I did do it. Now, you would think that Nora would be happy about that. She'd be like, "Oh, Mark," but no, she's just like my wife was, because it's just women. And I do it, and you would think it'd be like, "Hey, way to go, that's awesome," but she didn't. She's like, "Oh, you're a princess," or something like that. There's no positive. Like, "Wow, that's really great." So I go ahead and fill it up, and so I'm like, yeah, Nora's not going to give me any positive praise, so I'm going to go ahead and call my daughter Melissa. Now, what is she going to do?
She checking to see if you got that at the right gas station?
Yep, you got to get it at the right gas station, Speedway. Like you got it at Speedway, Dad, right? Are you kidding? So it's not good enough to just fill it up, but you got to get it at the right one because there's some points or something like that. I'm like, holy cow. Wow.
I don't always get it at Speedway, so I think you did fine.
No, you're missing the whole point. You're trying to take away. It seems like she's being nice. Oh, she's being nice. She's not. What she's doing is taking away from women and how absolutely unhappy they are, relentless they are. You can do what they suggest you to do, and they're still not happy. They're never happy. They're just not. They just aren't. They just are not. They're unhappy creatures. So then I'm like, okay. So then I go ahead and so in what is it, 50 years? No, 45, 47 years. I've been driving. I have never once run out of gas. I mean, I did have a situation that was very traumatic. Mark,
What was that?
yeah, women. It's funny. They know there's only so much trauma that you can have in a room on a podcast. There's only so much, and they want all of it themselves. They don't want to share any of it, and they'll flip it. Like if you share something, they'll say, "Oh, this is what happened to me." It's weird. It's fascinating. Now, is anybody learning? Is Nora learning? Is Elaine learning? Is Rosanna learning? And saying we probably ought to come up with topic in the future, because if not, Mark's got so much content, it's insane. I mean, it's insane.
That's right.
So so my daughter, she borrowed the car. And she put gas back in it. And I'm like, it's fine. Well, so I'm just trying to be a good dad. And so I fill up the car, and I tell her one of the requirements is that you don't go ahead and put any gas in. Does she listen to her father? No. And I knew she wouldn't. I'm like, yeah, she's probably not going to listen to me. Now, when she came over and exchanged cars so she could go ahead and take the car, and she brought over the 15 passenger van.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I'm going to go play pickleball today, so I'm going to take the van. And she says, Dad, it's on empty. I didn't know you were going to take it anywhere. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine, honey. She's like, it's really on empty. I'm like, okay, no problem. I get in. It's not on empty. It's below empty. So I'm like, not a problem. I'm a man. I know how to do the fill up the gas. So I go up and it's not, the one on the corner is not a speedway. So I'm like, I messed up, totally messed up. Hate messing up. This time I'm going to get it right. So I go down the street because obviously every other gas station is a speedway. Like it just is. So I go down the street. Now what's Nora thinking? He's a princess. Yeah, he's a princess. How does she think this? Like,
No, I was thinking there's not a speedway down the street.
oh, okay. So she knows these things. See, I don't know these things. This is new territory for me. So I go down, and the whole way I'm driving, and there's construction. I'm like, I'm going to run out of gas. First time in my life in a 15-passenger van. And I'm like, and when,
I have my
I
hand
get,
raised then whenever.
go ahead.
Why do you allow people's opinions to influence you so much? Like, why did that bother you so much
Which,
when Melissa said that? You're a 62-year-old man. If you want to
yeah.
get gas at Shell or BP or whatever, like, get gas at a Shell or a BP.
So this is what Nora doesn't understand. It's okay. She's a woman. She just doesn't understand it. Men like to go ahead and make women happy. Men like to have them be proud. They just do. It's wired in a man.
Hold
Like
up. Is
you,
that all men? I have not. I don't think I've experienced that actually. Could be wrong.
all I can do is speak for myself. So, all right. So I'm going down thinking I'm going to run out of gas, and it's not a speedway. So now I have a decision-making process to do. So, I mean, and I don't have time because it's a 15-passenger van. It's running below empty. I'm like, I'm going to run out of gas. And when I run out of gas, what's all the women in my life? I'm trying to impress them. I'm trying to impress the women. Like, man, he filled up the gas. No way. High five. That's amazing. No, not good enough. Not good enough. And so when I go ahead and I'm trying to make them happy, please them, and be like, you filled up. Did you go ahead and get it at Speedway and get the thing? I did. Did you do something? Like, if I run out of gas, what are they all going to do? First time in 47 years I've ever run out of gas, and it's trying to please a woman. What are the women going to do?
Laugh.
That's exactly what they're going to do. They're sadistic. So I used to have, how on stocks, you have a buy recommendation. For 41 years, I've had a buy. Men get married. So now the women are going to go ahead and pass this podcast along to any of the men, because my buy has been rescinded. Don't get married, guys. Just don't, because you're going to try to please them. And when you don't please them, you run out of gas. First time in 7 years. And Nora's like, is it 47? Because if it's not 40, is it 4? Like, you're lying. Are you a pathological liar? Am I a pathological? For what? You misspoke. You didn't have holy jamoli. Anyways, that's another whole thing. And so I have a decision making to do. Do I go ahead and risk running out of gas and having all the women go ahead and mock me and laugh at me and say, ew, you went ahead and ran out of gas? Oh, this brings back trauma like you can't believe. Man, you got to go ahead and up your game. Like, so once we're going camping, and it's in the winter, and we go up the hill, and Rosanna's driving. Don't ever let a woman drive. I'm just telling you, don't do it. And if she wants to, it's even worse. Anyways, Rosanna's driving, going up a hill. It's snow. There's snow and ice. What do? I mean, it's common sense. You don't stop on an icy hill. So what did I do? I told her, don't stop on an icy hill. What did she do? She stopped. It's like on an icy hill, and this is a steep hill, and you can't go. So, we're kind of stuckish. We can't go up. And I'm like shaking my head. I'm like, you got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. And so I don't yell, don't swear, just honey, get out, let me come. So I go over in the driver's seat. I try to nudge it up the hill. It doesn't work. The only way to do it is I got to go down the hill and then I got to get a running start to do it. Well, the hill, it's not a 2 or 3 lane, it's 1 lane and it's zigzaggy. It's zigzaggy. I mean, and you can't back down going zigzaggy. What do? I start to slide backwards going down. I somehow miraculously shift it 180 degrees, and then I slide down the hill, going down the hill, and right at the end, I slip off the end and I tap. I mean, it's a tap of a tree. There's nothing on the tree, nothing. I mean, it's a tap. What do the girls do? Dad hit a tree. Are you kidding? I rescued your mom and you guys from your bad drive. But no, it all comes back. Dad, yep, Dad hit a tree. Like, this is how women are. They're sadistic. They get joy out of bringing pain to men. Anyways, so I make the decision. What do I make the decision? I'm going to go ahead and conquer this thing. I'm going to risk running out of gas. To do that, I got to go all the way down to the other side of town. And it's like, there is no way I'm going to make it. And to impress women, to make them happy. What was I thinking? This is Charlie Brown and Lucy. There's a reason Charlie Brown is a boy, Lucy's a girl. This is just how it works. It's a Lucy. You're a Lucy. This is who you are. So I'm going and thinking, I'm going to run out of gas. And I get there and I'm like, if I can get to the top of the hill, I can coast in. So I'm going down and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know, I might run out of gas here. And there's a semi truck that just turned. And I'm like, I can make it. So I go in there, put my life at risk to go ahead and not run out of gas and to get, make it. Is that gas station a speedway?
Nope.
It's not a speedway. It's not a speedway. It's not a speedway. It's not a speedway. Like, it's not. It's not. I'm like, you gotta be joking. Like, that's crazy.
This gives me so much anxiety, okay? This
No.
whole conversation gives me so much anxiety. Just stop at the gas station and get gas.
Guys,
like, it's not that big of a deal.
What did I tell you? When I've got trauma, now she's got anxiety. I'm the one. But she stole it. She sucked all of my anxiety and she just sucked the very life out of it. Like, oh my goodness. Like, that's how they are. Like, now you're caught. I'm the one with the trauma and anxiety, not her. So I pull up. Now, do you guys have any idea how much it takes to fill up a 15-passenger van?
I do. Yep.
It's $120. It's more than I paid for my second car. Like, I'm like, all to go ahead and impress. But I still didn't get the points. So they're still not going to be happy with me. They're still not going to be pleased. So I'm like,
I don't think you get the points unless you're a rewards member anyway.
Well, yeah, but I had her phone, Rosanna's phone number.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like you could have gotten so many cents off per gallon had it been Speedway.
Right.
So you went through all this whole traumatic experience for what? $3?
No, to go ahead and have my wife, my daughter say, you know what, honey? You are an amazing husband. You're an amazing dad. You try so hard.
I was impressed with you. I saw it on the credit card thing. I was impressed.
Yeah, that might be what we call an emotional head flip. Like, it's like it. I don't know. Anyways, so don't interrupt and don't steal my anxiety and trauma. So I get it all. I get it all there. I get it all, everything. And then, and I couldn't go ahead and play pickleball where I was heading with a 15-passenger van because nobody's there. So I have to go to another place to play pickleball. So I'm thinking, I gotta get women. This is a tip. Like Elaine, like Yeah, she just captured my heart. Like she just absolutely captured it. And so I'm like, I call her up and I'm like, hey, Elaine, I just had something amazing happen to me and I just accomplished something huge. And she's like, okay. And I kind of told her and she didn't seem all that impressed. I don't know why, but I told her, I said, I needed a cheerleader. And so go ahead, Elaine. Can you do that? What you did then?
Was it like, woohoo, you got gas or something? Well, I'm
It
not
was
sure. I don't remember
better
how
than
I
that.
did it.
I felt like I was
Oh,
back
okay.
in school and the cheerleaders were all cheering me on. I'm like, that's not happened for, like, she's like, whoa, Mark, that's amazing. You're amazing. I'm like, yes, I got a woman to go ahead and say that I did something good. I'm great. It was all worth it. So then I'm going to pickleball and I get to pickleball.
Nobody's there.
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Is this
I
a
had
Ben story?
I had Ginger Ann's van. I didn't have mine, which I have the pass to get in on my keys. So I'm like, they're not gonna let me in because there's a woman and women. It's like, do you have it? Like they're not gonna let me in. I'm like, I come all this way in a 15 passenger van to go play pickleball and I do this, spend $120, go through all of this stuff, Mike, for the first time in my life, run out of gas, do all of this stuff, and I just want to play pickleball, and now I don't have a pass to get in. So I'm like, yeah, not a problem. I'm a man. I can do this.
You have your driver's license. That works.
Did I? Anyways, so I go ahead. So I go ahead and I go ahead and I go and look. And the woman, she's there. And I'm like peeking around the corner. I'm like, she's got to go to the bathroom or something. Something, she got to leave. And I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to sneak around. And
Do you need a hug?
no, I had a cheerleader. Elaine just went ahead and said, you did great. You were awesome. Like that was like brought me back to high school days when the women weren't married to you. They weren't your daughters. Like women actually went ahead and cheered for you. Even if you're losing a game, they still cheered for you. That doesn't happen. Not anymore. Anyways, so I'm looking finally at what seemed like forever. She gets up and she walks away. And I'm like, I scrunch down so she can't see me. And then I sneak in and I go in and I play pickleball. I felt
You act like you
accomplished.
were doing something naughty.
I was going in without, the proper pass. So now,
So on top of all of that, you could have gotten arrested. Or
I,
not?
I
I
could have,
mean,
but
cheapers.
yep, yep. And women, if you go ahead and get pulled over for anything, all they do is flirt with a police officer. They get away with it. And it's tough being a woman. It's terrible being a woman. I don't know how women do it. They get away with everything. And so now Nora went ahead and asked me if I was, and she was a sincere question. It wasn't, I didn't feel any, I just like, she asked me if I was a pathological liar. I'm like, nobody's ever said that to me before. It was an innocent, we'll save that for another podcast. So now, what I'm going to do, Nora, is just a standard, just so you know. Okay.
I don't know what you're. Okay, go ahead.
So, you know how they have movies? They're, you know, like real life movies. So they have documentaries or people or whatever, like Ford versus Ferrari. That
Like
was
based on a true story
yeah.
type of thing. Okay.
So that's underneath. Anytime you're talking to me, that's what the heading you see right underneath there. They don't say 100% of this story is true. There's no deviation. There's no anything. They just say based on a true story. So that's what
So
mine is.
weigh everything you say.
Everything I say is based on a true story. Yeah. So it might not be 100%. And I might even go ahead and just share parts of the story that make me look good, but leave out parts that make somebody else look bad. I might do that, but that's okay. I mean, it's okay to do that. I mean, it's like friendship is complicated. Like there's all of these rules and they apply to one gender, but they don't apply to another gender. And it's like, it's so confusing. And it's like, and so I don't know. What I can't figure out is why do men want to go to work and work more? I don't know. And why do they want to go hunting or fishing, without their wives or kids? It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Anyway,
Interesting.
oh, when you go ahead and like a story, and so based on a true story, essentially that's every woman when she speaks, there wasn't that much drama. Is that a lie? Because they're conveying how traumatized they were by something. Were they really that traumatized? Like I just talked to another 5 friend. So that she said I was a friend of a 5. She liked me at a 5. And she was traumatized so much by something I said. So much. I mean, it was crazy how much she was like shaking, traumatized, like, like a guy. Anyway, so she was so traumatized. So you'd think that if a woman's traumatized, like, oh, this was so hard on me, this was so everything, you would think that they would remember it. She didn't. She didn't remember it. Like, do you remember that? Nope. How can you have so a woman, guys? It's never the truth. It's never the truth. It's not 100% of the truth. So what they do is they highlight certain things, leave off certain things, cut out certain things, and they want you to be 100% perfect. But they can do anything they want, and they're not pathological liars. I mean, they're not. And so it's just weird. So this is not only true about Mark Boersma, this is true about all women. Like all women, it's based, anything that's coming out of their mouth is based on a true story. But it doesn't say if it's 1% true or 99% or something in between. That would be interesting. Like, what percentage of the story that you just told me, honey, was true? The challenge is they don't know. They think because they're God, it's 100% true. Like what I said was just 100% true. It's like, really? What about this and this and this? Nora, you have a question or thought? So while Nora's thinking, I'll just go ahead and translate what she's thinking. So she's a good student because she's young. I'm not, you know, because I'm old. And so I get it. It's okay. I get it. It's okay. She's smart and she's a good student because she's young. I'm old. So she's gonna always outlearn me. Copy that. So what she's thinking now, she's thinking, do I go ahead and share what I'm thinking? Because, her biggest fear is that I'm going to dismiss it. I thought it would be that I was going to flip it on her. She says they're both the same words. And with Nora and women, if they say they're both the same words, they're both the same words. Why would you need 2 words if they're both the same? They're not, but they are because they say they are. And so it's like, so now she's thinking, dang, like it's weird because like everything I say, like when I say Mark dismiss it, he obviously doesn't dismiss it because dismissive people don't even remember what's said. And I said that I'm concerned of saying something because I'm dismissed. So he doesn't dismiss it. He actually goes ahead and listens and actually internalizes it and actually takes it. And so, what other word could I possibly use that he's not going to take that and learn from that? And when he does learn from that, then it's going to prove that he's a better student than I am, even though he's old and I'm young. It's like, so it creates this tension inside of her, and she's a double analytic. Okay. And so she's a double analytic, and so she's young double analytic. So she's like this other guy I know. He's not used to people confronting him, so he starts shaking. Yes, yes, Nora, I see that.
What I was actually thinking
Okay,
is, I wonder why, when you said you wonder why men want to go on hunting and fishing trips.
yep.
I was like, well, what if they want to go to horse sales all the time by themselves? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, so they can mess around with other women.
So
That's
I can tell you that. I can tell you that the reason they want to mess around with other women is they just haven't let them mess around, because eventually they're going to find they're all the same. They just all are. And so eventually they're going to wake up and they're going to say, you know what? Women, they're just, I mean, is this why there's so many gay men? Did I just say, I didn't mean that. And that's not derogatory. I'm just saying it just, like, I don't know. It just,
I would actually be interested in knowing how many times, because I thought about this like early on in the conversation. I would actually be interested in getting my ex's response to how many times he did the dishes with being asked or without being asked, that I did not thank him for it. How many times I thanked him for just even going to work, like appreciative of him going to work. Um, like I'd be interested in knowing that, because I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think that there's ever a time that he made dinner or did the dishes or swept or anything like that I did not thank him for doing it.
well, and I can relate. So Nora and I have like, if you've been around for, I don't know how long this has been, 9 months, whatever. If you've been around for, our friendship is one of the weirdest friendships on the planet. So Nora and I are actually very similar in personalities. I mean, very similar. So she's a little bit more analytic than I am. She's a little more analytic than I am, a little less driver than I am, and a little more expressive than I am, or quite a bit more expressive than I am. So she's in her pain quadrant. That's what I need to do, is I need to figure out how to be, when I'm in pain, what I do is I work. And all that does is endear me to more women, because then I can make them more money. Like, yeah, just hurt him. Just hurt him, make him mad or hurt him, and he'll just work. What a great strategy. But, like, why doesn't he go to horses and go after women? It's like, yeah, I guess that brings temper
Do
in.
not advise that to men.
You want?
That's a terrible thing to advise men to do.
Oh, okay. I see. I've never experienced that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know, because I've never done that. Like, I've never done that. So I don't know. I would think that, if you're fooling around, I would think that it gives you a momentary jolt of dopamine, and you'd feel really excited and really good because you're sneaking around, like I snuck into the pickleball thing, and that was a high. But then you got to feel like an idiot. You got to feel like you're emasculated. Like, is that what you were created to do? Is that what God created you to do, really? Like, really? So you got to feel miserable. You just do.
At least
So,
when they go hunting or on adventures in the woods I mean, I doubt that they're taking other women and,
right,
staying at hotel rooms.
right. So, yeah, this podcast, this whole series, Nora and I's, relationship is like a friendship is like a roller coaster. It's like up and down. And so we, how much of her past stuff gets connected to me and how much of my past stuff gets connected to her. And so when you're talking about friendships and stuff, so she was at like a 0.5 with me. Like that, she doesn't want to be around me. And I'm fine with that because I don't want to be around her. She's mean and nasty, not nice. Um, and she
So
would
were
probably say,
you. We're
yeah, she'd
both, I
say the
guess.
same thing as I am. Like that's, I mean, granted, that's what women do. Like, how am I doing as a husband? Oh, you're a 9 or 10. Yeah, no, you're amazing. Until you go ahead and challenge a woman, then it's like, yeah, you just like women, they don't like to be challenged. I mean, there was a gentleman that I challenged yesterday, and I thought he was going to have a stroke or a heart attack. I mean, he's not used to being challenged, and so if people aren't used to being challenged, I mean, that's one of the good things, men, in getting a wife and getting, children. One of the good things is, you will grow and become who you're created to be. Because if you don't, well, then you'll go ahead. If you don't go ahead and survive that, then you'll go to horse races and fool around with women. And then you're going to wake up one day and you're going to feel terrible about yourself. And you deserve to feel terrible. But I don't know. It just kind of a weird thing. So if you're watching this, you come to the live ones on Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern time, ravingfan.net. And then come with your own topic. Like, don't complain about where the topic goes. I mean, if you're a woman, you obviously can. I mean, you can not have a better idea, but whatever you do, just go ahead and complain about it. And, if you're a woman and you're laughing, I'd like to meet you. Like, so my number is 630. You can text me 630-393-9909. No, it's a true story. You can do that. That's a true number. So if you're laughing, then you have a sense of humor. So there are, a handful of women in my life that they laugh about when I mock women, they laugh. And then there's a number of handfuls of men in my life. It's fascinating when I mock women. They're like, "You can't mock women." What they mean is they're like a woman and they relate to a woman. Like, yeah. And so I can mock men as much or more than I can women, but I don't think men are either. I don't think they're very aware. And I don't think women are either. I don't think yeah. Yeah, good. Nora, anything else you have?
Um, no, this has been interesting. I would say, like anything else, most of the stuff we say, you might not want to try at home. Um, just fair warning,
Saying.
because we're weird and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're not
So I mean,
normal, and we're
yeah,
okay with it, which is
right,
whatever.
right. It is whatever it is, and you can go ahead and share it, and there's some amount of truth. And so it's interesting because I woke up one day this last week, and I had all this stuff on my mind, and then I lost it because I was working. And I'm like, well, if it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This morning, I woke up at 1:45 in the morning and it all came back. And I think I got it locked in this time. So there's an iceberg, and the iceberg, there's above, and this is our conscious thought. So this is what came up at night with me. There's what's on the above the water that you see, and then there's a little bit below, and then there's a whole bunch below often. And I think that's with our mind, like our subconscious is so much more substantial than our conscious. And what does it say? And what like what we're working on is healing. And if you had something happen to you as a child that you don't even remember, how are you supposed to heal from that?
I'm actually doing an experiment
Uh,
right now.
uh-huh.
I did it once and
Okay.
it worked.
Okay.
So I'm gonna continue doing it. If it
And
works
what?
and I feel like I should share it and other people might benefit from it, then I might.
Right.
But I am doing an experiment right now, so
Right.
we'll see how it goes.
And if you're thinking, well, she's a woman, so when she says it works, it means it worked right now. She's not looking into the future. She's just right now it's working. And so yes, that's probably the case.
No, it's I'm not saying that it's working now. I'm
Oh,
saying there's something in the past where I've done this and it worked. Like it's now like it's but I'm working on it again to see if it's different or if
so it
there's a
worked
different
for how
outcome.
long last time?
Well,
You
it's
said
kind
it
of like
worked.
it worked and now it's done. Like it doesn't like it's
Well, it worked for a period of time and then it stopped working, right?
no, it's still working with
Oh,
that person. It's still working with that person.
how
But
long?
now it's like year and a half
Okay.
to 2 years.
Okay. Nice. Oh, and this is where, like, what I've realized this last week
Ooh.
is go. Yep.
I was gonna say it's also worked, but the first time it took 11 years.
Interesting. See, it's fascinating. And so, yeah. Like we can think something's not working when it is. We can think something is working when it's not. Something can seem to work in the short term, but in the long term, it doesn't. We often don't seem to connect the dots on why things aren't working. So something's not working, and we think it's because of this, but it's not because of that. It's because of this, this, and this. And so it seems like there's a barrier. It's like so there's this gentleman yesterday, and man, was he upset? Like he was trembling. He was literally trembling when he was so upset. He was trembling just based on something that was said, like him being challenged. He didn't want to be challenged. And when he left, another friend of his went ahead and said, "Oh, don't worry," because I was concerned. I'm like, I hope that didn't hurt their friend. No, that's fine. And it's like he's acting like a 4-year-old, and it's like so there's something potentially that happened at 4 years old that stuck with him, and he goes back. It's what Roseanne had said a while back. We need to get that posted. Maybe it is somewhere on there, but it's such a significant piece. And so, how do you go back? So we have fun. Hopefully, we have fun. We can laugh about it. But how do you make it stick? How do you make it stick? And so, Pastor James McDonald, this is more for the PB Church. Pastor James McDonald, he went ahead, so Christian, he went ahead and said, you know, sanctification, becoming more like our Creator, it's like the distance between something, us making poor choices, going down the wrong path. We're going to probably do that the rest of our lives, but the time between this and this is longer, and you're in that period of time shorter. You realize it. So like I was 40 years old ish, right around 40. And I had this realization, and I said to the team, 22 employees, I said on a Friday, I said, I said, I've never been more confident in my life that I'm making poor. I don't know how to lead. I'm a terrible leader. Typically, that's not something they taught in my, degree in management. I'll hear people that. And everybody's like, what? And then I said, I've never been more confident that I'll catch it fast. Like I'll make mistakes and it's okay, but I'm going to catch it fast. I'm not going to make them again. And it was fascinating. So I was reflecting, Elaine and I were doing a podcast for Life GPS. And I was reflecting back to when I was 21 years old in college. And there's a gentleman on, I think he's in his early 30s. And I was reflecting back and I said, at 21, I was in a group and I really believe this was the best decision, but it wasn't that, it was this one. And I made a mental note, don't ever forget that, Mark. You were so confident in what you're doing. And I asked this gentleman, have you ever had that? Have you ever had one of those experiences? And he paused. He didn't have something quickly. And then what he did come up with, I didn't like. It's hilarious. It's a phenomenal story, really intriguing story. So I thought, I wonder how many other people. Let's focus on men. I pick on women because they're just fun to tease, and it's cool to see them riled up. Absolutely love and adore women. Men, I don't know. And so I wonder how many men out there, like, I wonder if you ask a man, like, what's an experience in your life when you absolutely were totally confident that you were right and you were wrong and it changed your life forever and you've become forever humble because of that situation? Like that'd be a great question for a woman to ask. So if a man hasn't had that experience, and the more experience he's had, probably the better. But if he hasn't had that experience where he's ever, like you were just totally wrong. So I think most normal people, what they do is, it's weird. They go ahead and remember all their wins and they don't remember their losses. And so they think they're better than they are and they don't learn because they've got all of these wins and they're not realizing you're losing. You're not who you think you are. I think that I try to remember my losses much more. Like Sophia was funny. She's 21 years old, playing pickleball. We hung out afterwards and talked. And I don't know, we went deep really fast. And it caught me off guard. It's just straight up, just ripped the Band-Aid off. And she just said to me, I'll never forget it. She says, are you a good dad? And I just like, whoa, that's going deep fast. And I didn't even pause. I said, no, I suck as a dad. I did not expect her question. I did not expect her to ask that question. She caught me off guard. She did not expect me to answer the way I did. And then we went on to have like an hour conversation. And then we had another long conversation. Very precious, and so like if I focus on how great of a husband I am I going to grow? If I focus in on how great of a father I am I going to grow? If I focus in on, how good of a friend I am I going to grow, or do I want to look? But when you go ahead, like we talked about with Alvin yesterday, we talked about, on how people can think you make mistakes. So the year that I tracked every one of my mistakes, he says, why would you do that? I said, for me to learn. And I did. I learned a lot. And he says, well, people can think you make a mistake when you don't. And I said, uh-huh. And in relationships and friendships, people don't talk about the mistakes that people perceive that they make. So you have friend A, you have friend B, and friend B, they're not going to confront friend A about a mistake they made. So what they do is in their own mind, they think that person made a mistake, but they don't talk about it. Maybe they didn't make this mistake. Maybe the one who saw the mistake is the one that made the mistake, but they don't talk about it. And so eventually it builds up, and then all of a sudden the friendship gets blown apart, and it's sad. Elaine, anything else you have?
Nope, I don't.
Roseanne, anything you got?
Nope.
All right. Nor anything else you have?
No.
So if you're listening to this, pass along to others, obviously, but always put a warning on it and say, yeah, you might not want to try this at home. Leave this to the professionals. Like this, this might not work so good. And always remember we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.